Welcome to Impact Unleashed, the nonprofit edition, where we dive deep into the untapped potential of nonprofits and their remarkable ability to create a lasting impact. I'm your host, Sara Mayer. Let's dive in. Hi, everyone. I'm very excited about this episode because I get to talk about an organization that I founded with several of my friends, but one of my friends is on today, and we're going to talk about our journey of founding the Joyride Society. So let me introduce you to my friend and one of our co-founders, Jennie Elser. She is an Arizona born and raised marketing professional who is dedicated to making a difference. She thrives in the dynamic world of marketing and advertising with a particular passion for search engine marketing. And she's also made an impact on the community with a strong history of service and leadership. She served as president of the Junior League of Phoenix, co-founded a nonprofit called the Joyride Society, and served as gala chair for the Children's Museum in Phoenix. She also dedicated her time as a Girl Scouts leader and fundraising for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Jennie works as a digital marketing specialist at Revolution Parts, an e-commerce software startup in the automotive space. She is also a dedicated wife and mother of 3. Jennie, I'm so excited to have you on the show. I don't think we've ever talked in like this formal type setting with a recording before.
Not that I can really think of it. Most of our interactions have been less formal.
Yeah. And actually, Jennie, I was thinking about this as I was reading your bio. You've actually been a co-founder of 2 nonprofits now.
Oh, that's true. You're right. I need
Yes.
to update that. I'm a little behind on updating.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
I was thinking about how we've co-founded 2 nonprofits. But today we're here to talk about the Joyride Society. And for many of you listening, you have had a dream of founding a nonprofit or making a real big impact on the community. And one of the ways that our friend group found a way to do that was through creating a giving circle, which we call the Joyride Society. Jennie is one of the founders. I'm one of the founders. We also have a friend, Annette Tenori, who she's, I think, been on the show before. She was one of the co-founders, as well as Sarah Westfall, who has been on the show. Sarah talked all about balancing life and motherhood. And also our dear friend, Brandy Hunt. And unfortunately, for many of you who are listening who know about Be Positive, Brandy lost her battle to blood cancer. Was it 2018, Jennie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And so this actually started, I looked it up before the show, Jennie. So we're going to walk through a little history. And it actually started, our first meeting, and was in 2015.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do you believe that?
No, it did take a little while to get going, but that does make sense. But it seems forever ago.
Yeah, it was 2015, actually right before Brandy was diagnosed with blood cancer.
Yeah.
I don't think she even knew it at our first couple of meetings.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
No, we went through that whole journey with her, and we were doing this at the same time. So
yeah, paralleled that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how Joyride started. So the story goes, all of us have done a lot in the Phoenix community. We're volunteering at events, we're chairing galas, we were doing all the things and really making a big difference through giving our time mostly. Of course, we're giving money at these events. But we went out one night for drinks, and I think we might have had a few too many. But somebody said, wouldn't it be great to be the person at the gala when they call for $50,000 to actually be able to raise our paddle and give $50,000? And
yeah, that's the dream, but the reality is none of us were in a position to do that. But yeah, it sounded fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded fun. And it really was about the impact for us. So when we might have had another drink at that point, And when we realized we didn't have the money to do that, but it was really about the impact because we had been involved in nonprofits that wanted to make a big impact and something would happen. And then it would take forever, like lots of red tape in order to actually do something with the money to help the organization. And in reality, nonprofits love that we volunteer and do all these things, but it's really the money that determines.
Yeah, they need money to operate and do all these great things, and we all recognize that. How are
Yeah.
we gonna do that with what we have individually? So, yeah, that just led to this whole giving circle and everything we've been able to accomplish with that. It worked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, and we have a eclectic friend group, I
Yes.
guess I would say, very different skill sets, personalities, and
Mhm.
we're actually really diverse when you look at us. And one of the I don't remember if it was Brandy or Annette, but one of the more numerical or very data-driven people at the table said, "Collectively, I know what you just gave, and you just gave, and you just gave. We do have $50,000, and we are giving it. We're
Mhm.
just not giving it in that big
Mhm. One
level."
big swoop. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and then
It sounds like either of those 2 might have
yeah,
suggested.
yeah, and Jenny was probably like Jenny's
I'm not
the
the numbers.
and that's really where it started. We were talking about what nonprofits and what our community needed at the time. And if I remember correctly, I think there was like a big nonprofit that had just gone bankrupt,
Mm.
and they had all these kids that were living there in like a group situation, and they were displaced, and they just really needed another nonprofit was like,
Emergency funding.
yeah, they wanted emergency funding, and we were like, "Wouldn't it be great just to be able
Yeah.
to write a check for 50 grand?" And yeah, so it was a really cool, engaging conversation, and then, somebody said, "What if we pooled our money?" We didn't even know about giving circles at that point
I
and
had
a
never heard
check.
of one before. It just sounded like a good idea.
Yeah, and somebody was like, "We just opened a checking account. How do we do this?"
Yeah. That's what took all the time, I think, getting all the
Mhm.
everything in place to do it the right way. But just
Yeah,
the general concept was simple. Pool the money together and then give it away to the people who need it.
yeah, and what was really cool is one of our members, it was actually Sarah, did a lot of research, the other Sarah. She did a lot of research and found giving circles
Mhm.
and brought to us several structures and showed us different ways that we might actually just be able to pool our money and give it away. And so we started on that journey in 2015, and wow,
Long time.
long
Yeah.
time. It'll be 10 years next year.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Time went fast. So,
Yeah. And we set on a giving circle, and then, of
Mhm.
course, we had to become a nonprofit in order for people.
But first we needed a name.
Oh, yeah, talk about the name, Jenny. You're the marketing
So,
person.
yeah. What are we going to name this? And the place that we were having this conversation was called Joyride Tacos. I don't remember exactly who suggested it, but it was just like, okay, we're going on this joyride. We want to spread joy. That kind of became our theme: give, vote, spread joy. So then it just became simple. It's going to be the Joyride Society. And that was
Yeah.
born.
Yeah.
And I think it works perfectly for spreading joy. That's our thing. And that's what we want to do. And we talk about it a lot. And we have joy funds and different aspects of the nonprofit are named after the idea of spreading joy.
Yeah. And I loved that we had a lot of very intentional conversations at the beginning. So we knew that we were going to be a membership organization of givers, which is what we call our members. And we knew that we wanted to be very lighthearted. So Jenny brought up joy. We also knew that we didn't want to have another like full-time job basically running a nonprofit or expect a lot of our members. We
Yeah,
wanted
we
it.
wanted it to be easy and simple to
Yeah.
join and be a part of this and not have to attend things if you don't want to and have meetings and things like that. So being simple, I'd say, was like our one of our top priorities.
Yeah.
It started.
Yeah, and I remember we met in our office at the time. Jenny and I both worked at the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and we met there in the conference room, and we actually talked a lot about what we didn't want.
Mhm.
Like, we
Yeah.
we didn't wanna have a whole bunch of meetings, we didn't
Yeah.
wanna have a lot of requirements for our members,
Mhm.
and So what we ended up coming up with was we have one meeting a year, the funding meeting,
Mhm.
and
Like a
we have
party. I guess it's a meeting, but it feels like a party.
it's a party, yeah. It's a giving party, I think is actually impact party, I think is
Impact
its
party is the
officially
official term, yeah.
titled. Yeah, so we have one meeting a year and then our board is very tight and small and we meet once or twice a year as required
Mhm.
and put on one event. And what's really cool that Jenny mentioned is that we did come up with 3 pots. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so we decided we wanted to be able to give out a big amount, but we wanted to do it over time, be able to really build a large pot that we could give out and make a big impact for a nonprofit. So we decided we would have 3 pots. So every year when you make your donation, it's divvied up so that a percentage goes to our annual gift, our joy fund, which we decide at that voting party every year. Then we set aside some, what are they called? The emergency funding, sunshine funds. So those are, if anyone, a person or an organization is just finds themselves in a situation where they need a little bit of funding and we can quickly vote on that and get it out to them right away. Maybe someone's leaving an abusive relationship and they need to get a vehicle or they need to get a new phone, anything like that. We're a nonprofit that just faces an unexpected need. We loved that because it's just easy to get that smaller amounts out quickly to those in need. And then
And
we
I'm gonna
have,
stop you before you go on to
yeah,
the last one.
yeah.
And when Jenny says quickly, like someone can nominate today, and by tomorrow, the voting poll will be in the email box,
Mhm.
and the check could possibly be in the person's hand by tomorrow evening.
Yeah,
Like
it's a
we've
really
done it that quickly.
we have done it that quickly, and that's what's great about it because it's an easy organization to deal with. We make quick decisions, and we're just people that wanna get things done. So, yeah, I do love that aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then the third plot is our dream fund, and we have been putting aside money for that every year for the past 7 years,
Yep.
and yeah, we just recently decided in our bylaws, it says after it reaches $25,000, we can decide if we wanna give it out or if we wanna keep waiting and saving. So we did our big announcement was that we did vote to give that out this year, which was very exciting, $25,000 to Pencils of Promise. It was
Yeah.
amazing for me to see that dream of giving a dream fund actually very exciting. But yeah, that's how we've organized it, and it works great. Like, we just thought of it, we thought of the names for it, and everything's worked out the way we'd hoped. So, very
Yeah.
proud of the structure and how we do things.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on it in the beginning, and now to see it, we technically it'd be 10 years since it started, but we had to go through the process of getting everything in
Mhm,
order and getting the IRS approval and then recruiting members. So we've really been an organization for 8 years
mhm,
and then we've been funding for
for
7.
7.
And Jenny mentioned that we had to get the dream fund to $25,000, which is super cool. But it's reserved for capital projects, so that's really the difference between our annual gift and our emergency funds, and we are, like, this shy. We might actually be at it right now if I were
Mhm.
to go look. In that amount of time, 8 years, we have had $100,000 worth of memberships come in, and we've given out over
90.
100
Yeah.
$94,000.
Yeah, that's amazing. We don't have any operational costs really. We have a
Yeah,
few small things, but, yeah,
yeah,
we're able to just get the money out where it needs to go, and I love that.
yeah. And
Yeah.
how cool is that? I don't know about you, but I can't write a $94,000 check. But all
Yeah,
our
but
members
yeah, we did what we set out to do. We pulled together and we gave out $94,000 in
yeah,
7. Amazing.
yeah. And what's really cool is the organizations that we've been able to
Oh, yeah.
fund and individuals. Let's talk about organizations
Oh,
first. So one of I don't know if we knew this at the beginning. Maybe we did, but we didn't, but I wasn't thinking about this part. The fact that our members nominate organizations, and then we get to learn about all these cool things. Like,
yeah.
I didn't even that's like an added bonus. I
It's
didn't
a big
even
part of it
anticipated
now.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love learning. Even if we aren't able to fund them, just learning about different, organizations out there and what they're doing and to help that what they do need is awesome. And I think everyone appreciates that. And the
Yeah.
organizations do too. They love that we're sharing about them to a group of people and educating them. So it's a
Yeah.
win.
And you may be wondering if you're listening, like, oh, is this only for Phoenix organizations? No, we've actually funded, wasn't Tina's Pads in Africa or
Yeah. What
something?
Africa, I think we had like New York area, right? We're
Yeah.
when you talk about diversity, I think the organizations are very diverse that we've given to. So that's what's cool. It's not just the same kind of things over and over again. It's very different. Everything's very different and different
Yeah.
work that they're doing.
Yeah, like Girls Mentorship is an organization that we funded. We actually have funded them, I believe, twice. That's the only one we funded twice.
Yeah.
Natural Restorations.
Oh yeah.
I know many of our members went and cleaned up the desert with that group, but we also
Yep.
funded them.
Like one personal for me would be Project Roots, helping get food out to the community through a garden. And it's just very different. But yeah, I was glancing over some of our organizations we've given to, and I can't remember them all offhand. So when I go and look at them, I love
Yeah.
reminiscing about all the different organizations that we've been able to support.
Yeah, they have a acronym. It's the Neurologic Music Therapy Services
Yes.
of Arizona, and
I actually
they
toured that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And it's amazing the work that they're doing to help people of all ages through music therapy. It's awesome. So that's another thing we often get to, if they are local, we can tour. And when we give the check to them, we get to see firsthand what they're doing. I just recently went to Maggie's Place, which is our newest Joy Fund recipient, where they're helping homeless, expectant mothers have a place to live for a period of time until they leave, till their children are about one or so. They're helping
Oh,
them through the pregnancy and then early motherhood to get a stable situation for themselves. And we went to give them the check and got to tour their headquarters and learn a little bit more about them. So that's another kind of bonus for me is if they are local to get out and
yeah.
experience what we can. Or like you said, going to clean up the trash like that. So
Yeah, and then Tina's Pads was the one in Africa. We
mhm.
awarded them $7,125, and I know they had a GoFundMe account, and we put
Mhm.
them way over their goal, and
Yes.
they sent us, like, this video, and they were so thrilled. They were like, "How did you even find out about us?" And one of our members just found out about them on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's we can learn about these organizations through so many different ways, and we have a variety of members. So yeah, they're going to be bringing different types to us to vote on. So it's fun, like you said, to learn about all these different things.
Yeah. And those are some of the highlights from our Joy Fund, but I think
Mhm.
some of the best the most feel good stories and the biggest impact that we've made is from our Sunshine Funds, which
Mhm.
Jenny and I talked about. We can literally turn a check around in one day. And in fact, one lady was about to be evicted from her place, and she said, "If I hadn't received that check the next day, I was going to be evicted."
Heartbreaking, but I'm glad it makes us feel like, okay, I'm glad we could learn about her and get her what she needed.
Yeah. And we don't ask a lot of questions, like,
No.
uh, we don't ask anything of a nonprofit. In fact, many nonprofits are like, "Wait, what? I don't have to fill out a lengthy
Oh,
document."
as somebody who's filled out those things that we both have, it's a lot of work. It's hours. It's a very easy process. We just need a couple pictures, a little bit of information about what you're going to use this for and what you do.
Yeah, and
Very
the
quick.
board does the due diligence, like, we're
Mhm.
not just out there
No,
writing checks, although
but it's just not the process that most nonprofits are.
yeah, yeah, and we do document everything, and it's
Mm,
very highly documented, but it's an easy lift on the nonprofits.
for
And
sure.
also the individuals. Our members can come across a family who needs something or a nonprofit that needs something, and they can easily nominate them, and then the money is sent to
It's a good
wherever it
feeling
needs
to
to
know
go.
that you can help somebody that needs it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's not just coming out of your pocket. Like, we all
yeah.
wanna help everybody meet and see about This is just an easy way to do it.
Yeah. And we survived through the pandemic. We had our giving party, impact party. We would be
Online.
remiss if we did not we had online, we did a virtual Zoom party.
Mhm.
But we need to talk about the fact that one of our sunshine funds actually was to Crystal, who basically made face masks, like, out of
Oh, yeah.
a 3D printed face
That's true.
mask.
Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, so during a time when everybody was trying to help, we were able to fund somebody that was making those first really intense masks that people needed. So
For first responders, I think it
yeah,
was for.
they were the
Yeah, yeah.
ones. Yeah, we need a 3D printer and all that. Yeah, that was great to be able to do during that time.
Yeah, and then we also provided a food service worker who lost her job due to COVID because people
Mhm.
weren't doing
Yep,
events in person, and I think she was the one who was almost about to get evicted, actually.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, and then a massage therapist at the same time
Mm,
too.
mhm.
Yeah, so just some really cool organizations and people that we've been able to help through our gifts,
Mhm.
and Jenny did allude to our dream fund, so we are giving 20 we might have
I guess that
already.
was a spoiler alert. I said,
Yeah. I think Christine probably already sent the check, but
oh, good.
we gave Pencils of Promise $25,000, and one of the things about the dream fund is we did have several times throughout our history where we really asked members what was important to them. But I'll go back to our founding. When we first were founded, I gifted everybody on the board. I'd read this book, Half the Sky, and it was talking about how women should be holding up half the sky, because a little bit more if there's more women than men, but we don't, because in a lot of places education is a barrier. There's a lot of barriers for women, and one of the biggest barriers is education. And so we read this book, it was inspiring. And so there was always this little, hey, what if we could build a school, because
Mm,
education is what they need.
yeah,
But I think with anything like that, it always seems impossible.
exactly. Yeah, I think it was the same thing. Oprah can build a school. We want to build a school. Like
Yeah,
that kind of idea where, okay, we'll do that.
yeah, yeah.
But
But then what actually happened is, throughout all this research, we're able to find organizations, and we stumbled upon Pencils of Promise really early in our journey. This was in our Zoom session during
mhm.
2020.
Us. Yeah.
Yeah. And it came up, and then there were a couple others, and I actually nominated them because I stayed in touch with them. But one of the coolest things is when I called and said, "Hey, I wanna nominate you. This is how it works,"
Mhm.
and they figured out about how much money we had. I ended up on the phone with one of their higher major gift officers, and
Mhm.
he was like, "Okay, I'm blocking out my next 2 weeks. What do you need?" And I was like, "A logo would be great."
Give me a photo. Yeah.
Yeah. "Can you give me an image and fill in a couple details here? How would this work?"
Mhm.
And so then I nominated them as a member. That's what we do, and then we go to the impact meeting and we do a presentation. It's not scary. We do a little presentation,
It's
and
an
then
easy presentation. Like it like everything in Joyride Society, it's very simple.
yes. Unless that one member is there who asks all the questions,
Yeah,
then
that's
it
true.
keeps you on your toes.
And
But
yeah,
it's usually easy, it's super fun, and there's
it's a
wine and
friendly
drink
environment.
and
Yeah.
food, yeah,
Mhm.
and so we give a presentation, and then as Jenny mentioned, we give, so that's our membership dues. We vote, and so we give the presentation, they vote, and then we spread joy. And so the members voted to fund Pencils of Promise. And what was really cool that Brad, who's our contact there, was able to put together is he made Joyride a part of International Women's Day, and the whole organization, Pencils for Promise. Every email that went out, we were mentioned about, we were their matching gift to encourage other people to donate, and
Mhm.
we just had a bigger impact than I think we ever thought we would,
Yeah.
and I'm really
Do you
excited to see where
wanna
it
tell
goes.
them
Yeah.
what they're gonna do with that $25,000?
Yeah, so Pencils for Promise actually goes into developing countries, and they build schools. And they started building schools, and then they had to pipe water into the schools for bathrooms, restrooms, and sinks. And they realized that many times that's the only source of water for a community. So they build that into their infrastructure, and then they train and educate teachers to support those communities and in their new running water facility. And yeah, so they do that in 3 different countries: Ghana, Laos, and I don't remember the 3rd one. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we funded a school build, and so what will happen is we will get to pick, they'll present us with some projects, and we will fund the infrastructure, and then they have the matching donors will fund the programming for the teachers. But what's super cool about that organization is every school they've built, there's over 600. Every one of them is still running and successful today.
Yeah. So we're doing it.
Yeah.
Building that
So
schools.
yeah. So when you were a founder, before we wrap up, you were a
Mhm.
founder. If somebody's listening and they're like, I really want to make a bigger impact, I'm not sure if I can found a nonprofit. Wow, this is really cool. You guys must be special unicorns or something. Like, what advice would you give somebody who has this on their heart to make a bigger impact in their community?
I guess surround yourself with some like-minded people that can help you. That's what we did, and that's what worked for us. And we all brought different areas of expertise to put it together. So don't do it alone. I would
Mhm.
say get a group together and do it together, and it'll be fun and easy. But just do it.
Yeah. And I don't think we had it all figured out.
No,
Like,
I mean, we had no
we
idea.
still don't have it all figured out.
We
We're
still have
still
to figure things out, but we had a general idea, and that's all you need. And then you
Mhm,
research, you figure it out, you talk to the right people, you know how to fill out the paperwork and all that. That's just that comes along as you do it. So
mhm,
don't overthink it, but give yourself time. Look, it took us a long time. We got everything, all of our ducks in a row first, and that's what worked for us.
mhm. And
Yeah.
we honestly probably could have done it quicker.
Yes, but we had a lot with going on at
Yeah.
that time. But yes, but I liked the pacing of it. It was easy, not stressful. It didn't overtake our lives. It was just something we never let die. We kept it going and we kept working on it a little bit at a time, getting together, getting the bank, and everything we needed
Mhm.
to do. We just plugged away at it.
Yeah.
And now we are where we are.
Mhm. And I will also say the journey wasn't smooth s it wasn't a joyride the entire time, and
Oh,
obviously, we lost Brandy, our
yes.
founder. That was
Yes.
super sad. I can Brandy was actually one of our first sunshine funds.
That's true. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I recall that at our first voting meeting.
Yeah.
We also gave us her some sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that she would be incredibly proud of what we've
Mhm.
done, especially our most this year, giving the pencils of
Yeah.
promise away. So very proud to have partnered with her and done this in some in her honor as
Yeah.
well, doing it for ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been
Yeah,
a really great journey. I was thinking about that the other day, how Brandy actually traveled to Africa and built schools. Like, how cool it would be to be doing this with her right now. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
We all wish that.
yeah.
She's there with
Awesome.
us.
Yes, yes. All right, Jenny. Thank
Right.
you for being on the show. It's always great to see you. If
Thanks
you
for having me. This was very
Yeah.
fun. Yes.
Yeah. If you are out there listening and you want to make a bigger impact on the community, but you can't write $94,000 checks either, you might consider starting a giving circle, and it's easier than you may think. So get to it.
All right. Do it.
My thing just went away. All right, there you go. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Impact Unleashed, the nonprofit edition. I'm so excited you were here on this journey. If you haven't signed up for our newsletters and wonderful resources, please visit nonprofitimpactunleashed.co. Again, that's nonprofitimpactunleashed.co. I look forward to seeing you on our next episode of Impact Unleashed.